Good morning, sir. So in this video, we're gonna discuss my console application in Java. So first off, we import the scanner class from the Java util package. So this is used for user input. And then next is we declare our class named main. And then below that, we declares two arrays. Items to store product names and prices to store corresponding prices. And then both arrays have a size of 10. Then this one right here, this one. So this static keyword indicates that these variables are class level and are shared among all instances of the class. Then we have a boolean variable is using and initializes it to true. So this variable is used to control the main program loop. Then we declare two integers, so item count and price count, and initialized to 0, so they are used to keep track of the number of items and prices in the arrays. Then after that, we declare our scanner object named scanner to read the user input from the console. Then right here, we're gonna start our main method. Then in our main method, so we have it begins with a while loop that continues as long as is using is true. This one, as long as this is using is true. So this loop controls the main menu and user interactions. Then after that is we print the main menu options to the console, so this one, and we read the user's choice from the console and consumes the new line character. So we prompt the user to input his or her choice, and then we read that and then store that input to the choice variable. Next is we print empty line for formatting. And then right here we have switch case or switch statement to handle the user's choice. Then it calls the corresponding methods such as create item, read item, update item, and delete item based on the user's input. And then if our choice is equal to 1, which is create product, then it will lead us to the create item method, which can be seen right here. So in our create item method, we have a condition which checks if the number of items and prices is less than the length of the items and prices array to ensure that there is a space for a new item. Then after that, we prompt the user to enter a new item and its price, this one right here, and stores them in new item and new price variables. And after that, right here, we adds the new item and its price to the arrays and increments the item and price counters. So this will gonna increment, which means that this one will now be equal to 1. And after that, it prints a success message if the item was added, or an error message if the list is full. Then prints an empty line for formatting. Then if our choice right here, or the user will input 2, then it will lead us to the read items method, which is right here. So in our read items method, so we have again a condition which checks if the lists are empty and prints a message if they are. So this one right here. And then if it is not empty, then we will gonna enter this block of code, our else. So this one right here, this for loop. So this iterates through the items and prices arrays, then printing the item number, name, and price for each item. So this one, it will gonna print with the item number and then the item. So it includes concatenation. So this one right here prints the price. And then after that, it prints a print line. So for readability, and that will be for our read items. Now, if the user inputs number 3, then it will lead us to update item, which can be seen right here. And then, so in our update item, so we call the read items method. So this is used to display the current items before updating. And then after that we checks this one right here. This condition checks if there are items to update. And then after that, if there are items to update, it prompts the user. So it prompts the user to enter the index of the item to update and reads the input. So this prompts the user, and this one right here reads the user input. And then again, scanner next line to consume the new line character. And then after that, we have again a condition right here. So this is called nested loops. So this is nested loops. So in our inner loop, this one right here, so it checks if the index is valid, and if it is valid, it will gonna prompt the user to enter the new item and price, then reads the input and stores them in the new value and update price variables. So this one, it will gonna store it right here. And then again, we have our scanner next line to consume, and then after that, it will gonna update right here. So it updates the item and price in the arrays and prints a success message. It prints a success message or an error message if the index is invalid. Then after that, that would be all for the update item. And if the user inputs number 4 right here, so if the choice is equal to number 4, then it will gonna lead us to the delete item method. And in our delete item method, so we call the read items method to display the available items. And then after that, we have if condition. So this checks if there are items to delete, and if there are items to delete, it will gonna prompt the user to enter the index of the item to delete and then store that value in the index variable. And then right here, so this one right here is called nested condition. So it is a condition inside a condition. And in our inner condition, so this one right here, this checks if the index is valid, and if it is valid, we enter this for loop right here, which shifts the elements to fill the gap left by the deleted item and resets the last element in the array. And for this one right here, so this just basically clears the last elements of the two arrays, and then it decrements the item count variable and the price count variable. Then after that, it notifies the user that the item is deleted successfully. But if the inputted index is invalid, it will gonna go to the else, which basically displays that the inputted index is invalid, and that would be for our delete item. So if the user inputs 5 or our choice is equal to 5, then it will gonna lead us to our case 5, which basically prints that the program is exiting and our is using variable will now be false. So if this one right here, so if R is using is false, then the while condition will no longer enter this again, this one. So the loop will basically stops because R is using is now equal to false. But if the user inputs other numbers other than 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, it prompts the user to enter a valid choice between 1 to 5. So that will be all for my program. So I will gonna demonstrate it. So I will gonna demonstrate its output right now.